Hello, this is Tim Law with Playing It Forward Coaching and Self-Reliance You. Always remember your life, your dreams, your goals, and career are all essential. A big thank you for the large number of people that have subscribed to this YouTube channel, Playing It Forward Coaching. There's a great deal of collective wisdom here. And I'm very, very pleased to have Diana Sprenkle, who is a phys ed teacher at Northeastern Middle School, as well as health teacher. She's also the Northeastern ladies varsity soccer coach. She's been coach of the year at least twice, if not more than that. She's very, very well known in this area for the quality team she has put together. So Diana, welcome, and let's hear your story here.
Sure, thank you. So I grew up in this area in York County. I actually graduated from Dallastown High School. From there, I certainly had a passion for sports growing up. And it's funny, I have two older brothers, yet I was the most athletic in my family, and certainly the competitive one that always just bothered my brothers about, I could beat you from here to there. And they're like, we don't care. So my parents always found that to be very funny. And I gave my parents a run for their money, more so than my brothers did at times, I think. But definitely that competitive nature and that drive certainly has led to success through many avenues, not just sports. But I continue my passion at Appalachian State University, playing Division I soccer down there. And then when I got my teaching degree, I returned back to York County here and got my first job here at Northeastern. So super pumped about that. Obviously, I think I've been here 15, 16 years teaching so far through a variety of the different buildings in the district, and really found a home and love it at the middle school. Outside of that, I coach club soccer as well as the high school program at Northeastern. And it's just been exciting to see the program kind of turn around and really have a lot more success and have certainly a lot of winning seasons and different successes that way. And kids continuing on and kind of following in footsteps similar to mine of playing in college and having that passion. And I just love passing the game on. I still play it at my age all the time. And so if I'm not playing or watching or coaching rather than I'm watching, I'm kind of just a soccer crazy, soccerholic type person. So, but I love passing the game on to other players and seeing their development.
Well, fantastic. Diana, what do you see has been some of the main life lessons of not only soccer, but sports in general? And I'm a big believer in, not every kid's into sports, but I'd like to see them get involved with sports, band, music, extracurricular things in school. What are some of the life lessons that you believe that, sports, such as soccer that you are coaching and everything, create for teens and young adults?
Yeah, I definitely think time management is a huge one because there's always multiple things going on in your life. So being able to really manage multiple things and figure out what's most important, what needs to take priority. I think that's huge. Certainly trying to balance practices and games as well as obviously academics when you're a student athlete. And beyond that, I think just some of the relationships you develop. I've had quite a few parents mention to me just the things outside of soccer that players have learned from different programs that I've been in charge of. And I think that's kind of sometimes the best stories you like to hear and compliments you like to hear from parents. It's just knowing that you made an impact in their life. And just however they take that, whether the passion and the discipline goes into their education later on, or even just relationships in general. Some of my best friends still today are friends that I met through soccer. Whatever that passion is, if you can create relationships there that last a lifetime, I think that's huge.
Sure. Well, and you've had a number of your kids, you've had some outstanding soccer players, make all-star teams and everything, and they go on as far as college is concerned. Can you share a couple of the, maybe some of the kids that you've had that have gone on to, soccer? I know Brittany Ernst is one up there, and anyway, among others, but yeah, please share those.
Yeah, the first one that comes to mind for me would be Sawyer Patrick. She went to Seton Hill, I believe, to play college soccer. And then I think now she's in PA or what is she in? Pharmaceuticals, I think.
Okay.
Somewhere in Philadelphia, maybe Temple University, I'm not sure exactly. But she's doing awesome things beyond soccer at this point. But she certainly was one of the players through Northeastern that made it to the all-state team.
Mhm,
Lauren, as you mentioned, Brittany Arntz did the same. She's currently still playing at Kutztown,
mhm.
well with her academics as well. So those two certainly stand out. You have Amanda Bentz as well. That's gone through the program and done great things. Great character. These kids all have great character too.
Yes, yes, they do. I know
That
all
makes
those
them
girls.
stand
And
out.
yeah, they're wonderful young ladies. They're as good as soccer players as they are. They're even better people. I totally
Yeah,
agree. Yeah.
yeah. And they all did so well academically too. For a while there, it was crazy. It was like so many of the soccer members of the soccer team would be in the top 25, even top 10, top 5. I'm like, that's unbelievable, the
Yeah.
discipline it takes, to have the passion at a high level in multiple disciplines and still be successful. So very impressive.
Absolutely. And besides time management, other different life lessons that you believe that the kids learn? Because I've been involved with coaching for a long time too, and one of the points I tried to make with people that I've been talking to as well is that with this whole challenging COVID thing, it's almost like having a suit of armor on emotionally because we've had to dig down deep, push hard, and I think it's helped the individuals that have been involved with sports or band or extracurricular those disciplines to almost have that extra emotional armor on. I mean, would you agree with that?
Definitely. I think just adaptation is probably living in the moment. Are huge things that have come out from COVID. That's actually probably what I say is one of my weaknesses is I like to be so over prepared and organized. And
Mhm.
that's not the way things work anymore with things popping up, any day things can be shut down or changed and modified. And so it's just kind of going with the flow. And really I've encouraged my players back in the fall, because that was kind of when the first season, we really didn't know
Mhm.
what was going to happen coming back from summer break. And so I try to there's two ways to look at it. We can be pessimistic,
Mhm.
complain about all the changes, or we can be optimistic and just be thankful for the opportunities that we do get. And so certainly being the head coach, I try to take that perspective and have that rub off on the girls and just being appreciative that we got to play, knowing that, the spring season prior just got shut down completely and didn't exist. So even though we had limited games, only playing our divisional games, they were still games and they were opportunities for us to compete and play as a team and get those experiences and just have training anyways. So I think definitely looking at the glass half full when you have, again, multiple ways you can take a situation, but you might as well take it for the positive and just be
Mhm.
excited for what opportunities you do eventually get.
Sure, sure. Yeah, definitely agree. And as far as this past season, like you said, this past fall, it was kind of just nobody was really sure how much we were going to get to play. I was obviously coaching the girls tennis while you're coaching the girls soccer and everything. Um, what has been some of the reaction going forward as far as or what's your thoughts as far as teaching and coaching at Northeastern here in Manchester, Pennsylvania?
Moving forward, I, just continue. My passion's not stopping anytime soon. So, at the same time, at this point, I'm about 15 years in or so with teaching and coaching. And so, trying to just constantly evolve and not stay status quo. Certainly for many years, I was growing and developing. I played soccer my whole life, but to coach it is a different thing. So early on, I had spent time and money, resources getting coaching licenses and truly learning how to best prepare my kids and feel like I was doing the best I could. At this point, I've maxed out kind of my licenses in that area. So, and I also got a master's degree in sports management with a focus in athletic coaching. So I did those things, and now I kind of feel like for a little while I plateaued. So it's kind of having some self-reflection and figuring out what I can do to again continue to get better, just as I expect out of my players. So actually, something I just recently was doing as a result of COVID and everything being teaching wise online, just using some of those resources to actually put together some video clips for my players when I have training sessions, whatever the topic is of practice. I'm thinking for this upcoming fall that I'm actually going to create like a Padlet or some type of an access through a Google Classroom that'll have them preview the topic the day before through video clips that I've researched through professional teams, the U.S. Women's National Team, different games of professionals that the players can actually see the topic in real life games. Because I think having a visual before actually running the session I think the players will get more out of it. So I'm utilizing that again as an advantage out of COVID, becoming more and more resourceful through the internet. And so I think that's going to be something I can do again to continue to improve myself as a coach and utilize resources that are out there. So I'm looking forward to that. I actually just started that maybe within the last 2 weeks, putting together those resources in preparation for the fall.
Well, that's great. And I really liked what you were discussing regarding adaptation, because we certainly, with this whole COVID thing, we were rocked on this about a year ago. Nobody really knew what had happened. It was like, kind of our Pearl Harbor moment from the standpoint of,
Yeah.
what the heck is going on with this pandemic. And so, boy, you aren't kidding as far as the adaptation is concerned. How about who are some of the important role models that you had growing up, Diana, as far as, getting you involved with soccer and, I know you played down at Appalachian State collegiately, which obviously is on a very high level. But some of the people that were important for you. Obviously not your brothers, okay? So
Yeah.
you'll throw a little smack back at them for not being.
Oh, for sure. Oh, they'd have no problem with it. They'd be like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
No, I would definitely say the interesting story is I really had no interest in soccer whatsoever when I was younger. I was actually a gymnast. And the owner of the gym pulled my parents in after I was there for a couple of years, just doing the general classes.
Mhm.
My parents that I had talent and I kind of needed to get out of just the general classes and get into more advanced classes.
Mhm.
So my parents sat down and had a meeting with them and came to the decision. They were both blue collar, hardworking parents, 3
Mhm.
kids. And they were like, Diana, we love that you love gymnastics, but at the end of the day, financially, it just isn't doable for us.
Mhm.
And so certainly I was heartbroken, only to realize again, things are bittersweet. In the moment, they might seem like the worst thing that's ever happened to you, but it was probably the best gift I ever got in relation to that. It definitely changed my path. And the other reason I got into soccer was because my best friend up the street was on a soccer team. And I always remember seeing a soccer picture or a magnet on the refrigerator. And so I'm like, what else would you want to try? And I was just like, nah, I guess I'll try soccer. And I really didn't start playing soccer until I was in middle school, believe it or not. So,
Wow.
and from there, obviously it just took off. I had some tremendous coaches along the way through club soccer. I had a coach actually from Ireland. And it's funny, just having that accent makes someone stand out for whatever reason. So anything he said was like gold to me. And he's actually a collegiate coach now. So his name was George Crampton. So he did a lot for me, as well as another club coach I had, Mike Deck, who's from Lancaster County. Those two really opened up the door of just I think their passion for the game, how much they loved it, is kind of where I am now.
Mhm.
So I hope that passion passes on to other players as theirs did to me, because it really stuck with me and led to where I am now. So very thankful for those two for sure. I'd say they definitely created opportunities for me in loving the game. Beyond that, when I came back from school, I lucked out. I came back to the club that I played for before I left. And Steve Whittison was the director of coaching at the time. He's now the men's soccer coach at Millersville University, doing really well with their program. And I basically was his understudy. So he had I think it was a U16 girls team at the time. And I was just his assistant, just learning from him. And again, an awesome thing that fell into my lap that I got to learn under him, because again, he's doing so well at the collegiate level now. So it's just interesting that the stars aligned and I got connected with all these people and mentors that now are doing so well beyond where they were at the time. A lot of them at the collegiate level, and I got that experience. So those 3 individuals definitely stick out to me in the coaching world.
Mhm. And what was it like to go from, let's say, Dallastown, and then play on a collegiate soccer team at Appalachian State? What was that experience like for you?
An eye opener. You don't realize when you're a little fish or a big fish in a little pond, and then you go somewhere else, and not so much anymore. I had players from not just all over the country, but also from other countries. There was a girl from Canada on my team. There was a girl on the Trinidad and Tobago national team on my team. So she would actually fly to go play national game and then come back and play a collegiate game. So definitely challenged me and pushed me out of my comfort zone, eye opener. And I'll tell you what, I never worked so hard between my freshman and sophomore year, because you don't know it till you're in it. My freshman year was a shocker, and I thought, okay, it's time to go work this summer. So the fitness packet, I mean, destroyed me, but I did it every single day to put myself in the best position possible to be competitive, and to try to earn playing time.
Yeah. Yeah, it definitely is a big step. I was a collegiate wrestler, and believe me, I understand that jump from high school to college. It doesn't matter what the sport is. It's you're up there with the big boys and girls at that point. That's for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
definitely.
Any last words of advice, Diana, on that you would give to teens or young adults?
I just think at some point, the vast majority of people that are involved in extracurriculars, whether it's athletics or even other things, that typically doesn't become your career. Most people don't become professional athletes.
Mhm.
So while it is an extraordinary thing, especially because that's probably your passion, as soccer is for me, and something you should stay involved in as long as you can. Realize that there are so many life lessons that you should take from that, and utilize in your true real life, in your career, in your family, and in your success overall, building your future. There's just so many connections, even though one day that door may close. There's so much carryover and benefit, and I never realized how much this was going to impact my life. Having the passion for soccer, but playing, coaching, watching,
Mhm.
just love it. There's not many days that go by that there's not something soccer related going on in my life. If not traveling multiple soccer fields each day, is a commonality in my life, and something I'm just grateful for.
Yeah, well, your passion definitely comes through, Diana, without a doubt. So if you could hang on till we get over here, as I'm going to end the recording here momentarily, and just chat with you here afterwards. But this has been great. Thank you so very, very much. I do appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you.